Welcome back, folks. In this video, we'll go over how to make your game a little bit more good looking. If we were to click preview and play our game, as you can see here, the camera doesn't really move and we're limited to a certain area. And as we know, our ground only runs to a certain point, which we cannot see here, but if I were to jump over it, my platformer just fell. So let's close it. Let's fix the camera first. Let's double click on our main character, go to behaviors, let's close this, add a behavior, and we will search for smooth camera. Select a smooth camera, leave controls as default, apply, and let's preview again. As you can see here, now the camera is following our main character, and if we jump, it still follows us. Let's close it now. Let's fix the edges. To stop your character from falling over the map, there are several different ways. The first one and the easiest one is to create an object here. So let's create a new object. We will go new object from scratch. We will create a tiled sprite. Let's call it wall. Create with Piskel. And let's just make it brown. Click Save. Click Apply. Let's drag it out. Make sure it is on the base layer. Stretch it all the way up. Double click on it and give it a behavior for a platform. Uncheck ledges can be grabbed and click Apply. Now, if we were to preview, our main character cannot get over it. And we can do the same thing with the other side. But before we do that, let's expand our area. As you can see here, currently we're limited to a little rectangle here. If I were to move our background around, you'll see that the edges of this rectangle are set. What this is you can think about it as your initial user interface window. Your game scene is not limited to it. However, if you want to display something in your game, like your character's health or initial starting configuration, you want to place it here. For example, background. But let's stretch it out. We will stretch it out. And then we will create our ground wall. So select the ground wall, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy paste. Place it on the other end. And let's click preview. And if we were to traverse all the way to the right, you can see that the background stays the same until we hit the wall. Let's close this. Next, let's create a few platforms. There are a few different ways of doing it. You can either create an object from scratch, or you can just duplicate this item. So let's right click on it and select duplicate. And let's call it platform 1. Let's drag it out. Let's stretch it out a little bit. Place it here. Let's do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let's do a couple more times. And let's click preview. And as you can see here, we already have the resemblance of a fun level. Let's close this. Now, to build your levels, you can expand it in any way. You can expand your scene to the left, to the right, up or down. The choice is yours. So let's expand it a little bit down. Let's create the ground. Let's copy and paste it. Drag a little bit over here. Let's select our wall and drag it down to make sure we don't fall over. Same thing here. And let's create another platform. Copy and paste. And let's click preview. As you can see here, if we would traverse all the way to the right, we'll be able to go down. And just like that, we made our level a little bit bigger. Let's close this. Next, let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's create a platform that moves up or down or left and right. We can do that again by creating a new object, or we can just duplicate an existing platform. So right click on it, select duplicate. It'll be platform 2. Let's call it moving platform 1. Let's drag it out. Let's place it right here. Actually, let's delete these two guys and place it right here. Double click on it, go to behaviors, and add a behavior. Search for movement. And here we're given quite a few choices of which movement to choose. Let's select an ellipse movement. Looking at the settings, you can choose how to move this platform. What we want to do, we want to move this platform left and right. So let's set the radius of the movement on x-axis to 150 pixels. On y-axis, which is up and down, we'll set it to 0. We're not going to have any rotation offsets. We don't want it to rotate. And let's leave this as 0, unchecked, and 6. Click Apply. And let's click Preview. As you can see here, we now have a platform that moves left or right. Now, let's create a platform that can move up or down. Duplicate your moving platform. Drag it out. Double click on it. Go to Behaviors. This time, instead of using movement on x-axis, we will set y-axis to, let's say, 150 pixels. Click Apply. Click Preview. And as you can see over here, our platform moves up or down. Let's close it. And just like that, you create your first level that's more interesting than it was before. And you can arrange it in any way and form to make sure that there is no collision issues. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.